So, Season 7 just got released and everyone's wondering what the top 5 guns this season are. So, without wasting much time, let's jump right into it. So, the number 1 weapon, it actually is not surprising because this weapon just got a legendary skin, so it kind of makes sense the devs want to push this weapon out. It's none other than the MX9. This thing does so much damage close range. Till 10 meters, the damage close range in upper chest is insane. I mean, the fact that you can have a loadout without really a lot of negative impact on the gun just makes this such a good weapon to use. Close range, the fire rate on this thing just absolutely outguns any other weapon right now, and you can just have so many different variations of this weapon for long range, close range, fast-paced combat, and that is why this weapon falls at the number 1 spot. Falling at number 2, we have the Hades. Hades is a new LMG that just got released this season, and usually when a new gun is added to a game, it usually happens to be like a really good weapon. So right now this thing falls in the top 5. I mean, the good fire rate, 64 bullet mag, the damage range. This weapon is pretty much like an ideal weapon. I mean, there isn't really a lot of downside for this thing apart from like the accuracy. Again, like I said, a lot of gunfights that you take in respawns are not that far away, and that is why this weapon falls at the number 2 spot. At the number 3 spot, we have the Holger 26. This weapon got nerfed pretty heavy this season, but even with the nerfs, this weapon is still a pretty good weapon. The only thing that really got affected is its ADS time. It still has the same damage output, which means that it still outslays any other SMG or LMG in this game by a huge margin. Like, you just cannot outgun this weapon. If you're in a really good spot like a head glitch, there's not a lot of weapons that can outgun this thing at range, even close range. Like, this thing just destroys anything and everything that comes in its way. And the fact that you can have a loadout with 100 bullets, it definitely is still a really good weapon, and it falls at the number 3 spot. The number 4 spot, I was actually kind of confused between 2 different weapons, but at the number 4 spot we have the PP19. This weapon was in the top 3 the season before this, and even the previous season it was still in the top 5, and with other guns being nerfed, the PP19 is kind of making its way back, where it still is a really good weapon. Like, the consistency, the accuracy, the damage range, and the amount of bullets that this thing has just makes this weapon such a good weapon for not just close range but even a long range. I mean, the fact that an SMG can have 64 bullets and do that much damage long range, it just blows my mind. It's pretty much like a dream come true for an SMG player that this weapon exists in the game. I mean, it just is a really good consistent weapon. And finally, at the number 5th spot, might surprise a lot of you guys, but I'm going to be placing the AMAX at the number 5th spot. I just made a video about this gun, and the reason I made this video was because there was a free skin that codm was giving out for this weapon, and I didn't really expect much when I was making the video, but when I was playing with this gun, I was just able to take gunfights that I usually would not be able to. There's one, there's number 2. Oh my gosh, I am one shot. There's number 3, and come on, number 4. Oh my gosh, this thing beams. I was challenging Holger 26 in head glitches. I was challenging people in head glitches that usually you would not win those gunfights, but I was able to just absolutely destroy people, beam them across the minimap. Oh, get beamed. Oh, what? With a good AMAX build, and I was kind of surprised, like, this weapon is actually that good, and that is why I'm putting this at the number 5th spot. I mean, the damage output of this weapon, the accuracy, the damage at range, the damage close range might not be that good, but it still is a pretty good weapon. Like, it still can do a lot of damage close range. It's got good fire rate, so it's just all of those things, and the fact that this thing can absolutely laser people across the minimap. If you look at the current top 5 weapons, most of them are used by people to like just kind of head glitch in different corners and stuff, because the fact that you have a lot of bullets in every single one of them, and that is why a weapon like the AMAX, where you can just basically challenge people on those head glitches and actually win those gunfights, is why I'm putting this at the number 5th spot. Everyone's switching to the Holger, PP19, the Hades, and the AMAX. Like, these are the 4 weapons that you usually will see being used a lot in ranked right now. No one's really using the LK24, because I tried using it and I just got absolutely clapped in ranked. It's just no joke. I tried everything, it just didn't seem to work that well for me. But there you have it, guys. These are my top 5 picks this season. Let me know in the comments down below what your top 5 picks are. Do you think that I'm missing out on a certain weapon that you think should be in the top 5? Let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, take it easy.